Lords, I rise very briefly, just feeling that this discussion of this potentially extraordinarily far-reaching group of amendments has a perspective from those who I often work with, those who are environmental groups, human rights groups, groups representing disadvantaged communities who are bringing judicial reviews. And I have to say the perspective that I approach this from is how incredibly expensive and difficult they are, and how often they fail, even apparently according to measures of common sense at least, they should have succeeded. And that's very much where I come from. But I think you don't just have to listen to me on this. I think that we saw, particularly after the judicial review over the prorogation of Parliament, we saw a great deal of debate about judicial review. And if we go to Lord Reid of Alamere, the President of the Supreme Court, quoted in the Law Gazette of March 2020, I quote, "Judges are very well aware of the risk of challenges being brought in what are political rather than legal grounds. They are repelling them and are careful to avoid straying into what are genuinely political matters. Where this is a matter that is to be considered, it should not start from the premise that judges are eager to pronounce on political issues. The true position is actually quite the opposite," end quote. So I think that we have a system of judicial review that actually very often doesn't work to defend the powerless, and that of course includes nature as well as people in our society. And yet it is there as a final backstop, and sometimes it works. Sometimes it does protect those people. And it's really crucial that we maintain it. Now, I have to commend the noble Lord Hunt for ingenuity. This is possibly the amendment with the largest legal consequences I have ever seen from a single amendment, as I think the noble Lord Banner set out for us very clearly and with vastly more expertise than I can offer. And I would also say to the noble Lord Banner that if we're thinking about trying to speed up judicial review, and in principle that's not something I have any problem with, one of the things that undoubtedly slows it down is the inequality of arms, that those who are small community groups, environmental groups, that are facing a massive inequality of arms, it's very hard for them to go fast because they just don't have the resources. You've got to wait until the crowdfunder has raised some more money before you can keep going. Perhaps dealing with that inequality of arms issue would actually be good for the efficiency of decision-making in our society. But nonetheless, I think it's fairly self-evident, but for the avoidance of doubt, I will say that I am strongly opposed to the approach being taken in this group of amendments.